Welcome back, guys. This story is going to be about how I found out that my ex-boyfriend had cheated on me. I say ex-boyfriend, he's my ex-boyfriend now, but obviously at the time he wasn't, because otherwise I wouldn't have been cheated. Okay, I'm just going to go quickly into this because I'm going to give you my version of events and I'm going to give you what he's told me recently about what actually happened. Okay, so here it goes. So about 4 years ago I dated this guy. It was like a real, like, I wouldn't say low-key thing, but it wasn't serious. It was like I said, it was 4 years ago. Nothing was really serious for me 4 years ago. So I dated this guy, and by date I mean like he came round occasionally and gave me foot rubs. He was my boyfriend. We just didn't really do much because we were kids, and you know, we just didn't do much. We didn't have any money. We were in college. We just didn't do anything but hang out, which is fair because that's all I really do with my boyfriend now, to be fair. But anyway, so yeah, so we used to hang out occasionally, because we both lived in kind of strict households. By kind of strict I mean he lived in a really strict household and I lived in a kind of strict household. Like, my strict was to the point where boys couldn't stay over and things like that, but they could come over, but they couldn't stay over, and you couldn't like go in your room with the door closed and things like that. That's kind of still a rule now, I think, but I'm 21. But anyway, but his is just kind of like no girls can come unannounced. Like, his mum had to be told, and then like when it was a girlfriend, like you weren't allowed to really like cuddle and things like that, and she had to meet them beforehand and things like that. So anyway, so we've been dating, I want to say a couple of weeks, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was a couple of weeks. And I had this best friend at the time. I'll call her out because I hate her. Her name's Kerry. Wow, I'm a cunt. But anyway, so her name's Kerry, and we're going to give my ex-boyfriend the name of Jack. His name is Jack. His name is not actually Jack, but his name in the story is Jack. So me and Jack were dating for a little bit, and my best friend Kerry, at the time, she was my best friend, we used to hang out all the time. And there was this one day, me and Kerry were in town, and then Jack just happened to be around. So we decided, I was like, well, yeah, you might as well meet my best friend. You know, like, you're my boyfriend, you might as well meet my best friend. Little did I know he was gonna fuck her. Anyway, I'm still a little bit bitter about this, as you can probably tell. So yeah, so me and Kerry met Jack in town, and he lived in town, so he was just like, I've got a free house, you might as well like come over. And it was summer at the time, so we like ran through the fountains in town, so we were wet because that was like a childish thing to do when we were children. We weren't really children, but you know. So yeah, we ran through the fountains in town, and then we were wet, so we went back to his, and he gave us towels, and I borrowed his clothes. I think she just dealt with life. I can't remember if she borrowed his clothes or if she just dealt with life, but anyway. So yeah, so then we went back to mine, everything was fine. And then a few days later, I'd gone round to Jack's house, you know, because I was his girlfriend and that was allowed. And his mum were out again, because I think his mum was at work. And I'm pretty sure this was during the summer holidays, or during like a holiday, because I remember we were off college and his mum was still at work. So yeah, so I'd gone round and we were cuddling, and I was just, he was showing me something on his BlackBerry. We both had BlackBerries at the time. So he showed me something on his BlackBerry, and then a message popped up from Kerry, and I was like, what? I like saw the name, and then I saw Love Heart at the end, and I was just like, what? So I was just, he like quickly hid the phone away from me, so I was just like, what the fuck? And I was like, what the fuck's happening? And he's like, oh, nothing. And I was like, why is Kerry messaging you then? And then he's just like, oh, nothing, like tried to like play it off, and I was just like, right, okay. So me being the sneaky little bitch that I am, he went to the toilet and left his phone there, because you know, you don't expect your girlfriend to go through your phone. I'll admit now, I will do that if I think you're cheating on me. So, you know, not now, but I used to, because I was a nosy cunt. But anyway, so I looked through his phone, and there were like just a few messages backwards and forwards, and they were kind of really flirty, and I was just like, what the fuck's happening here? And then there was a message, I can't remember what it said, but it was like, it was a message from her about like the other day or something, and I knew that I'd not seen, like I knew it wasn't talking about that day, and I was just like, So I asked him, and he claimed that nothing had happened. So what I said was, I will message your best friend, because I knew of his best friend and I knew his best friend would tell me the truth. And I went, I know for a fact you tell him everything. I will message him and I will ask him, and if it turns out you've lied to me for any sort of reason, I will break up with you and you will be out of my life for good. So he laid it all online. He told me he cheated on me, he had sex with Kerry, and I was just like, no, actually he said he cheated on me, and I was just like, okay, so cheated as in like just kissed or gone all the way? And he was like, gone all the way, and I was just like, so I left in tears. We broke up, obviously. But anyway, ignoring that, fast forward 4 years. It's approximately 4 years. So fast forward 4 years, and throughout these 4 years we've had like an on and off friendship. I've managed to forgive him, and only the other day did I manage to forgive Kerry, but you know, I'm still a cunt, so I will still call her out. So like I said, fast forward 4 years, we became friends again just recently, in the past like month or so. And he invited me around to his house to stay for the night, which is a whole different story actually. I will tell you that's a whole different story. But yeah, so I stayed over, and he was like, do you have anything to ask me? Because he just knew that I had something to say, and I asked, and I was just like, okay, so how did the whole cheating thing with Kerry go? And he was just like, okay, fair question. And he explained that after like he'd met her that day, the next day she saw him in town. I wasn't there, like they were just in town, and then he was just like, oh yeah, if you haven't got anything to do, you might as well just come back to mine and chill. And they were just chilling for a bit, and then they had some alcohol, and then they kissed, and then he felt really bad apparently, and then he was just like wanted to tell me, and all this, he felt guilty and all this bullshit, and then I think, I'm not sure if, yeah, I think it was the next day again, like they left it, and then she added him on Facebook, and then they started talking and flirting, and then I guess they arranged to go around to chill, and then they had more alcohol, and one thing led to another, and they were fucking, and he said to me, he literally said, it wasn't even good sex. And I was just like, right. So I then asked the question, did you sleep with her before you slept with me? The answer was no. The worst bit is, we all slept together once in our relationship, and he slept with her the day after. I slept with him, and the only reason I slept with him, he knows this now, but the only reason I slept with him was because I was afraid that he'd go and sleep with somebody else if I didn't sleep with him, because he was just a very sexually active person. Well, sexually active person, I say, like, he was forward in the way that he made it clear he wanted to sleep with me, basically, and I just didn't really want to, but I did because I didn't want him to leave me. And that's such a pathetic way of thinking about it, and if any of you guys are in that sort of relationship, I beg you, please get out of it now, because it's a terrible way of thinking, and it kind of fucks you up quite a lot, honestly, even if you don't notice it till years later. But yeah, so that's what happened. He cheated on me, and just so you know, as of yesterday actually, me and him are no longer friends, and I have no plans to ever let him back in my life. But like I said, that will be part of another video that I may film now, and may upload before this one, you never know. Anyway, so if this is such a long video, we all knew it was going to be, because all my videos are. Thank you for watching. If you didn't, then you didn't see this anyway. Thank you for watching. Bye!